Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and a big, huge, beautiful good evening to each one of you who is joining in, will join into the show. This is Ethel Da Costa, and you're on my Heart to Heart with Ethel Da Costa on a beautiful Sunday, 29th of August. I hope all of you are finding my page. We are hosted on the Ethel Da Costa brand page, and you are coming live with us on Heart to Heart with Ethel Da Costa. Today is a very interesting topic. It's taken me some time, and a lot of excitement to put it together. Because our conversations for the past, I think, 2 months that the entire Heart to Heart series was launched was with the intention of creating very heartfelt conversations, with professionals, with women, with men from different parts, of the world and of the globe. Conversations that really matter to us, conversations of the heart, conversations of the spirit, conversations of the soul, especially in these COVID times, because a lot of the dynamics, of life have changed. A lot of us now are more online because the on ground, has its own issues and difficulties. And we also realize that a lot of the on ground and online dynamics has also affected our way of life. And therefore, heart to heart attempts to kind of create, these conversations to bridge and to kind of have them happening from a very soul level, from a very beyond the face, get into the core of what people feel, how are they dealing with changing environments, changing professions, their whole lives, so to say. So come online and join us today. I'm very excited to meet each one of you who will find my page, Ethel Da Costa, the brand page, and will log in to the link that is already given, which is very, very simple. Great excitement today. There's a great topic that we're discussing because we feel this conversation needs to be had. I have some really, fantastic guests with me who are very fine gentlemen, like fine whiskey and fine wine, as I call them, who will join the show with me. We have some great questions I have kind of curated to ask them, because we're all, as a woman myself, I need to understand what really goes into a man's head and his heart, and what he feels from the soul level. How has COVID affected the dynamics between men and women, partnerships, relationships, love, dating, the whole spiel, as we say. So let me introduce my guests as you find my page, the Ethel Da Costa page, and join online and come online with us. I'm going to introduce my first guest, very dashing, very well known in Malaysia, and a complete pleasure for me to meet him today for the first time. Let me introduce Zainal. How do I pronounce it correctly? Zainal. He's a founder of Malaysia Bumiputra Designer Association. He's a co-chairman of Malaysia Fashion Week, a menswear designer and an image consultant. Let me just get him online with us and take the conversation forward. There you are. Good evening, Bon. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Ethel. By the way, can call me Bon Zainal, yeah?
Oh, Zainal, that's right. Like Mr. Bond.
Yeah.
Good evening, and welcome to Heart with
Good
Ethel Da
evening,
Costa.
yes. Thank you for inviting me to share this interesting and fun topic. I think it's about time, yeah? It's about time women have to know about men as well now. What we want as well. I think it's about time.
It's about time too.
Yeah.
Completely about time. Let me also introduce my other guests, other guests, as I bring them online too. Dr. Keat is a man, a man around town, very popular, and he's seen in the social circuit, a very fine gentleman who loves the great things of life. along with very open and open heart-to-heart conversations too that I've personally had with him. And it's a pleasure for me to have him also be part of this evening, wonderful evening session that we are having on what men want. So let me introduce Dr. Keat, Medical Director of the MAC Clinic.
Hi, Ethel. Hi, Bon.
Pleasure to be
on.
Good evening. Good evening. And pleasure to have you, Dr. Hugh, on Heart to Heart, on what men want. I'm looking forward, actually, to hear what you have to say on the whole lot of questions that are coming up.
Yeah, thanks for bringing men into the conversation on your show. I guess have a lot of platforms to speak on, but then it's great to to see a more personal or more fun side, or maybe some curious questions that you pose to us being answered on your show.
Yes.
So
yes.
I hope it's going to be an interesting one.
Yes, I hope so too. But I think with knowing you and knowing Bon, correct, and but then my next guest who I will introduce, I think the conversation will be very fun and interesting because you've seen so much of life. Both of you have seen so much of life. You understand the old school. Like I was talking to Bon offline. The old school, that we know of, that we've seen. Our fathers represent the old school. Women like us is very. It's very, very.
But now we are learning a new life now.
Yes, that is very true. I think COVID has changed the dynamics completely because yes, correct. My other guest is Arzmy Hargreaves. I don't know. His line seems to be dropping in and out. So when I see him online, I'm going to get him to join the conversation. Let's just get into it straight now that we are here. Bon, yes, as the founder of Malaysia Bumiputra Designer Association, you have a long standing with fashion and menswear, and that's what I mean to say. You've been there, you've seen that, you've done it all. Do you think clothes make it a man, or manners make it a man?
Okay, good question there. I have to answer you both. Before COVID and now with COVID, okay? And before COVID, yes, everything is all about, about me, about looking good, about your first impression, all that, But now it's a bit different. Now it's about being alive, being comfortable, having peace of mind, being happy. We appreciate life more now than being looking good now, So again, you have to balance, yeah. Still, we need to look good. As you can see, even now, even for us doing online, but yet still, end of the day, if you are married, if you are with a life partner, still looking good is number one. Then, of course, the attitude and the rest and all that, So these are the things that we have to balance. It's not about whether which one is on all that. It's both have to balance. That's my take. Yeah?
Wow. Okay. Interesting. So you're saying that a man's prerogative is also to look good and to be well mannered, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
So as an image consultant, let's hear 5 tips on what a man must observe in manners, in social etiquette, and in dressing.
Simple. Basically, first and foremost, you have to know yourself. Yeah. Meaning, I always say focus in. We always focus out. Always talk about people. We talk about this and that. Why don't we talk about ourselves? What we do, what we lack of, our strength, our weaknesses, and all that. And then, of course, from then on, when it comes to looking good, you have to know your body. To me, everybody can be in style. But yet you have to know what you want. Your circle. Who are you with? Okay. Even I'm jealous of that of doctor now. You're so casual, the doctor. This is I like that. And then the other one is being being a man or being men with women. We can never be equal, but we can always be fair in anything we do. So these are now, and last but not least, of course, peace of mind. Everybody wants peace of mind. When you have a peace of mind, you can see, even for me, and even we have doing this, my business partner, no. Born, if you have your peace of mind, I can do magic. So these are the things now. We're talking, and then out of all this, you have to stay alive now due to COVID, in whatever it is.
Mm,
You know,
mm,
even I realize now, dating now, there's a new rule of dating now. If you want to see people, or you see someone, or you want to meet someone, you have to make sure you have already have you have two doses of vaccine. Then you can meet. So these are the things that we have to learn. You know, this is happening now. This is happening now. Oh, am I right, doctor? Right? So
Yeah,
these are
yeah,
the things.
yeah, of course. Safety first, safety
wow.
first.
Safety first. Yes. Wow.
Maybe
Awesome.
like-minded, like-minded people will meet.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. Dr. Hugh, you've been in the beauty business for such a long time, 20 years,
Yeah.
and you've seen so many trends come and go. You've seen it all, in that sense. From what characteristics, would you say define a man?
I think the when you have that question where you pose and say, whether manners maketh a man or clothes maketh a man, I think it's to do with the internal and external, right?
Mm,
Yeah.
Properties that we have. I mean, maybe internal is like manners is like your character, and
mhm,
your external is how you dress. But your how you portray yourself, in terms of expression, into how you dress, can also be a reflection of what you're thinking inside. So if you're the messy sort, you're not organized, then you look messy. Whether you're dressed or maybe you don't have a sense of beauty, or you don't have an eye for detail or something like that. It will also reflect in how you look to other people. So I
mm,
think in a way it's both. But what is defining, I guess, I think is more important, of course, is the manners part, which is the internal, right? The character.
correct,
I think the
correct.
character, it will reflect whether the person is a good person, is going to be contributing to society. I think
Mm,
that is me is quite important. But being in this field, right, just like Bond, where we want people to look good, we want to dress up, make their skin look better with creams, right,
yes.
glowing, with all those things, and also with the clothes that he designs and all. I think it's
Mm,
also very important. When before I joined the industry, related to beauty. Mine is medical beauty, of course.
right.
I didn't really pay that much attention, to a lot of small details. I learned a lot along the way. And what I find is actually all these small details sometimes also can feedback. So let's say you look good, or you make yourself look a bit better with some medical procedures. Then you also feel more confident. So
Mm.
that then feeds back. So there is an importance there as well.
Okay, all right. And I think we've just got Arzmy here online with me. Great. So let me introduce Arzmy Hargreaves, who's my other guest. He's a CEO of RegalCel Group, a brand and image strategist, a creative director of Gavroche, a menswear stylist, a global networker, and a youth development advocate. He's joining us from Sarawak. So let me get him online, and there you are, Arzmy.
Hello,
Good evening.
I'm
Good
so
evening.
sorry for my line.
Back.
I changed to my data, I changed to my Wi-Fi. It seems not working, so I don't know. So I apologize to everyone tonight, watching tonight. So I hope it stays this way this time.
I welcome to Heart with Ethel Da Costa, and what men want is our topic today. And I'm looking forward to what you have to say as well. First of all, I must say that this is such a pretty looking frame. I mean, look at you, three different men, different, backgrounds, different professional, where you come from. And I think a little bit of, a mix of genetics, beautiful genetics from what I can see, well groomed, well dressed. I like men like this. So welcome, Azmi, welcome.
Thank
Let's.
you.
I'm going to ask you a question too now. Like I was asking, Bon, what make it a man? Clothes or manners, Azmi? Because you're an image
Well,
consultant yourself.
for me personally, what makes a man is actually a combination of both equally.
Mm,
If you are well dressed, but your personality does not embody a gentleman with reputable traits, then you will never be taken seriously. So it's vice versa. If you have all the manners and the characteristics, but you don't really act like one or dress like one, then people are going to question your credibility. So to me, it to be parallel, side by side, and equal in all rounded aspects. But of course, I think it always have to start from the inside, from within. I always believe in dressing as how you want people to acknowledge you. You know, so if you want to be a reputable, respectable man, then you have to act, dress like that. So it's not one after another; it's together in sync, equally. That's what I believe.
Okay, because you're quite a popular youth development advocate in Sarawak as well, right?
I
Do you?
say pop.
Yeah,
Go. Yeah.
correct. So, in your line of work, do you see the youth of today embody these characteristics?
Well, it's rather slow, but it's getting there. That's why we need to have this organization as the youth development organization to actually
Mm-hmm.
direct to that path, because they're not really confident enough to like to be in that direction. So this is where we play our parts. You see, like we take them, we're actually uh, explore with them and then take them to the right direction where they're heading and just make
Correct.
them more exposed with this kind of thing, because they're kind of like timid in a way, and in other way they're also not exposed in this kind of environment. So this is where we're actually going in and helping them, shaping them how they want to portray themselves.
Okay, all right. And on this same note, I'm going to include a few of our guests and friends who are online already. Cecilia says, "Hi, Atul, Dr. Hugh, and Arzmy." Hi, Cecilia, and thank you for joining Heart to Heart. We also have Melvin. Melvin is here. She says, "I agree." She's listening to our conversation. She's online with us too. I think the caption says it all. So as I said, what men want has excited a lot of, a lot of women as well, who also want to know and understand what men really want, because we've been hearing what women want so often that I think in the entire narration somehow unknowingly we've left the men out of the entire conversation as well. So, Bon, I'm going to ask you this question. What's your opinion on patriarchy, sexualism, and equality? Can you hear me, Bon? Can you hear me? Can Bon hear me?
Okay, can you guys hear me? Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I was saying, what's your opinion on patriarchy, sexualism, and equality?
Okay, basically, again, those three are the qualities, basically. I mean, again, let's look back, 20, 30 years ago, things are different, I mean, but now it's totally different as well. With social media, people can get to know each other just through the fingertip, and that's through Facebook, through Instagram, I mean, through social media and all that. So again, like what Azmi say, what Doctor say, it's all go back to yourself.
Right.
The
Yeah.
intention must be clear. Our intention must be clear in terms of even like to get to know someone. What's your intention of that? Even to me, even love is just a choice. In order to be with someone, we have to make. Sorry, love is just something that that we say. I love my car, I love my job. But to be with someone, you have to commit, you have to be responsible. So there's a lot of things. I don't have a concrete answer. But to me, again, all the above again have to come in simultaneously about what you're doing now, and then at the end of the day, you yourself must know where you come from, where you want to go. So
Okay.
that's my take.
Okay. Dr. Hugh, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I think you're asking about like sexualism and what is the current situation in the world now. I think it's very complex. It's getting more and more complexer by the day. There's so many avenues of meeting people, online and all that, and so many different platforms. The platforms are also very interesting. You see some of them, right? I think you're literally doing show, right? And see what they can do. Maybe it's a skill, maybe it's a talent, or maybe it's just something very personal they want to share. Like even a scene could be like conversation within the bedroom, right? Just with the camera. So yeah,
Yes.
so there's so many ways of meeting people, and when you see that happening, and then you are able to interact, as in you can message them, right? So
Correct.
that makes it possible for people to try many more things that they couldn't do before. So in the past, right, if you go into a bar or you go into a pub and you see a
Mm,
beautiful girl, right, or a handsome dashing man, right, and you want
mm,
to
mm.
you want to go up to them for conversation, may be difficult because maybe there may be no seat.
Yes.
They may be with a boyfriend, maybe with a group of friends, right? So, but now
Mm,
you can.
mm.
Now it's personal and direct, and that makes it so much more interesting. And there's so many transactions going on that I think is so complex. So, I think it's very interesting, but good or bad, I don't know. I think humans have to learn how to deal with it, and there's so many things, so many issues that have cropped up, right? Like you mentioned,
Mhm.
I think earlier we were talking back in the background about ghosting, all that, right? Yeah, so
Yes.
it's very interesting, yeah. And then COVID has not made it better. COVID has made it worse because now being meeting face to face in real life is is impossible in many places. So people have to learn how to deal with technology.
Correct. And gentlemen, remember, this is heart to heart. So so it is heart to heart, and it is what men want. So I want you to be completely honest in what we are saying, right? Because the questions are also for women who are online to kind of get a glimpse or into what the male psyche is all about, especially in today's times. Because we love men, right? And we want to understand them even better. So, though we keep saying, COVID, has changed the game, and the dynamics between, between men and women, and in relationships and partnerships and stuff like that. Um, how can men and women create productive, happy partnerships in these times? And I think it is applicable, to us all now. Correct? Arzmy is back online with us. Arzmy, how do you think that men and women can create productive, happy partnerships in these times? Arzmy, Bon, I think you can take that question while Arzmy figures his network.
Can you repeat again
Yes,
the
I
question?
was saying, yeah, how can men and women create productive, happy partnerships in these times?
Okay. Um, I mean, there is no happy partnership. There's no fairy tale basically.
Mm,
Relationship, there's always something. There's always up and down. There's always a non-happy environment or happy environment both. Okay, I
I think
think
it's
most
work.
importantly,
It's work, right? It's working together,
yeah,
honey.
yeah, working together, understanding together. I mean, sometimes it's hard for us to understand each other as well. You know,
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
all about. I think it's all about commitment, taking ownership. Because to me, I believe, okay, even for me, when I'm into something, even when I'm in love, okay, I go all the way.
Yes,
Some my friends say I'm stupid, but then that's me. That's my nature.
correct.
Well, I'm 55 years old now. I've been single for the past since 1995. Yeah,
Okay,
I got
okay.
three grandchildren, and yes,
Wow.
I'm into fashion business. I meet a lot of people and all that, but yet still, I'm still like this. I'm still like I don't say I'm finding a partner, but I'm still sometimes still searching myself. What do I want?
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
these are the things. Understand. It takes because to me, once you commit, you go all the way. Whatever
Yes.
it is. Now this is where I come in. Thick and thin, go all the way till death do us apart. Blah 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 and all that. But yet again, those the two parties must understand each other. Must swallow things. In order to make things work. If not, it
Hmm.
just be just fairy tale. So this is what going on now. And then like Doctor said, and then due to this social media things are getting more easier to get to know people, and even
Okay.
to even now we can stalk people. People can stalk you. They can do so many things. At the end of the
Correct.
day, it's all about yourself. Yeah. So these are the things. Like to sum it up, it takes commitment. It takes there's no gray area. It's like the black or
Hmm.
white.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then
Hmm.
make it work. like saying, finding someone and make it right. Find one and make it right. It's not about, or I wish blah 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 and all that. So, find one, make it right, but you have to go all the way. And of course, you have to be prepared. So that's one thing. Yeah.
Okay, wow. I did not know that you had grandchildren. Wow. So that's a deep perspective actually. And yeah, and you're single too. Wow, that's good. Because like how I was telling you, Bon, I'm an old school woman, and I've seen old school men, right? Like you mentioned, men of a different generation who would work in a commitment as equals, the husband and wife or the partners as equals, and would kind of stick with accountability, responsibility, raising families. You know what I'm saying? Those dynamics, is what we saw. Of course, there are no
Fairy
perfect
tale.
relationships. There are no perfect relationships. Yeah, there are no perfect relationships.
That has gone into the realm of the traditional kind of thing, when men were chivalrous and women were damsels in distress, and people, they need rescuing, and then each one has a definite role. But now
Right.
with equality, I think maybe that may also be partially to, in a way, blame, because then it's upsetting. And then now people can have avenue for education, right? They can do so many things. They can play so many roles in different careers and different jobs.
Right.
It's a choice whether you want to be a mother, or not. It's the dynamics have changed very a lot. So it's very complex.
Arzmy, what do you have to say? You're a young man. Do you think, how can men and women create productive and happy partnerships? Let's hear you.
Arzmy, the line, I think.
I think Azmin, yeah, he's having a lot of hassles with his network today, because because I'm very keen to listen to his take, because he's the man of this particular generation, right? Of
And I think your question also, right, probably sort of treads on the kind of generation gap.
Yes.
Now we know there's these stages, right? There's baby boomers, there's Gen X, Gen Y,
Yes.
right? Millennials.
Absolutely,
And
yes.
so people have changed, and the way they see life and what they have and what they
Men.
expect and what they
The
and what they take for
conversation is
granted.
around men. The conversation is around men. We want to know, the take from a male perspective, because yes, of
Even
course, we understand. Yes.
even like Michelle, even dating now is different now. Used to be we get to know someone and then from there we sit down, we have a good conversation about exploring each other and all that. But
Right.
now when you get to know someone social media, you get start checking in their Google, then get to know what's going on, what they do, blah 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 and all that. Then you meet up. So it's kind of like, there's something they lost, something lost somewhere.
Yeah, that's
Like
what I
in
feel
our
too. Yes.
yeah, in
Maybe
traditional
not just
way.
maybe you gain too much. Maybe there's no more mystery. Previously, right, when you want to know this person, you call them up, right? I want to find out more about this person, right? Get to know you better. But now it's all laid out.
Yeah.
And just through my even sometimes when you see their friend list, oh my god, you have to know someone or somebody that you don't like, so it become like it's two different game altogether. But yet we have to live with it. We have to explore. You have to overcome and see what happens. You know what I mean?
So then my question, then leads to this is, because like Dr. Hugh said, it's all there and there's no longer mystery. Has it made men lazy?
Yeah, in a way, I think so. I mean, I'm going to give a short answer to this one because you see on Instagram, right, how people get likes. So as what, especially
there's
just
no
bear.
effort.
There's no one mystery, right? Same with men. They also bear. They show the six packs, right? They'll show, and that's it. And they keep doing that again and again.
That is true. So we as women feel that men are no longer making the effort or putting in the effort, and I think that feels a little disappointing, because we still want men to lead. You know what I'm saying, right? One to lead.
Yeah.
Whether it's in a partnership or in a conversation, or in a dating scenario, or in a love scenario, men have become lazy because I feel they make no effort. And now, Azmi, are you here? Can you hear us? You're dropping in and out.
I don't know if, yeah, I know, but if this is the last time, I don't want to disturb you guys. My connection is so bad. If I'm
All
out this
right.
time, then it's okay. Just
Good
guys, just
now.
carry
You're
on.
good now.
So yes, so we want to hear. I want to hear your take on men and women. Can men and women create productive, happy partnerships in these times?
Yeah, okay.
Yes, Arzmi.
All right. So I believe when you said this time, I'm guessing the situation where we are mostly
Yes,
stuck
yes,
at home during the pandemic right now. Okay. So
yes.
so I'm going to say it from my take because I believe Dr. Hugh would say it how it's there being with his spouse physically right now, because at this moment my girlfriend and we are in long distance relationship. So she's in
Hmm.
Johor and I'm in Sarawak. So the last time we seen each other was in January. I think it was
Wow.
January, yeah. So long distance, even though it can be a challenge, but there's an advantage about it because absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
with 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 distance, you can actually there's a reason for you to love harder, right? There's
Okay.
so much effort for you to put because of distance. So what we do is that we do video call at night, sharing how days have been, keeping up through the day, and we always have this intellectual to talk about. So
Hmm.
this is
Hmm.
much of the reason why we click so much because we like to talk about intellectual things, late nights, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So I think intellectual conversations really get us together. That's the reason why we click so well. And then have some games, and we also have our own YouTube channel because that's the only thing that we can use right now, technology, because we are in
Hmm.
long distance. So we have created contents with our own YouTube channel. Yeah. So to me, that is kind of a good partnership and productive in a time that where we can't be physically next to. So it's
Hmm.
all about. We watch movies through video call as well. So it's about watching movies and then watch each other's reaction at the same time. So to me, it's all about initiative
Effort.
and
Yeah.
effort to spice
Yeah.
up the. Yes, as we work with what we have, and thankfully for the technology during these days, everything can be worked on. So yeah, so despite being stuck at home, we actually
Yes. Correct. Yeah. So I understand that. Some men will put the effort into keeping a relationship going, into keeping a partnership happening.
kind of lost
Uh,
it again.
Yes, but yeah, but we get you, Azmi. So what you're saying is that the effort and the initiating the entire thing is also what men are quite uh, how do you call it, conducive, game, and open to doing it, right? So which also brings me to this other question because I while internet will keep up, will keep dropping in and
Yes,
off. Um, yeah, that's fine. That's completely fine. So we've been talking
yes,
about social media and technology today moving into our lives, whether we like it or not. From a woman perspective, while we are also adapting to the fact that technology has become a part of our lives, and we agree with you as well. We also see as women, it also kind of leads to a few kind of problems as well. And the problem being that what are the rules of etiquette that all three gentlemen can suggest for men to practice on social media when connecting with women. I feel there's a huge lack of boundary there, but I want to know from you. Let's hear Arzmi give a take on that.
okay. So this is actually interesting topic because I first know my girlfriend through social media. So yeah, to me, men needs to know how to respect women in regards of everything. Like knowing what is sensitive to say, what is the right thing to say, and
Hmm.
what's not the right thing to say. Because a lot of we see these days, women are being taken as a sex symbol, sexual symbols,
Hmm.
and get a lot of nasty, lewd comments just because that she's showing much of her skin on her photos. That doesn't give us the right to actually comment on her autonomy and her body parts. And also freedom of speech, social media, it can be a scary thing because anyone can be a warrior behind the keyboard. I think
Yes.
they become anonymous. No one knows who you are. So I'm sorry, but if you actually have done this, it failed to say that become you have failed to be a real man. Because if you don't have anything nice to say, so you don't say anything at all. You know, because you remember you came from a woman's womb yourself. So imagine if your own mother or your own little sister are undergoing that. So how would you feel for that? Because I'll always be sensible, I think, sensitive and respectful when you're trying to connect with a woman. So if you want her to know you for the real you, so instead of pointing over economically, so why don't you show her your good qualities? You know, real gentlemen, it's very hard these days. So you polish that traits and be a hidden gem yourself. Learn how to talk like a gentleman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Yu, what's your take? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I totally agree with what Arzmy has said, right? And that's his take on maybe what women want the men to behave.
Yes.
Because of
Yes.
technology and what we have at our disposal nowadays with the different apps and tools, I think it's so easy to become a creep, a stalker, a troll, right? And then make inappropriate comments, when people post nice pictures of themselves. So but the problem is I don't think maybe these things are taught. This kind of thing, this kind of polishing or finishing kind of etiquette kind of thing is taught. Formal education, people only learn the subjects just like in the past. They learn science, they learn maths, they learn arts, but they don't learn etiquette and how to have some social kind of responsibility. And that in the past has been maybe taught at home by the parents. And and the Chinese have a saying that when they say a person is impolite or bad, right, as no good upbringing, right, by the parents. Yeah,
Right.
so. But that's also part of the problem we have in modern society because parents are very busy with work, right? And now everyone's struggling with COVID as well. There's difficult. Everyone is stressed. I think this might go on for some time. But I think even before COVID thing happened, right? The world is moving at such a fast pace now that maybe children, right, have not been so formally taught this kind of thing. Sitting down at a dinner table and talking about issues is becoming less and less. So that is.
And that's a very interesting point, Dr. Hugh, because I think even men are forgetting how to make conversations at a table on a date also,
Men prefer to be a strong and silent type.
well, I have my opinion on that. Let's hear Bon, what Bon has to say to this. Do you think social media has created, because creates access, does it also creates, trolls, creeps, and men who have forgotten social media etiquette, how to introduce themselves when you're connecting with a woman, right? Not like, hi dear, hello darling, hello babe. I'm like, hello, excuse me, who are you?
Yeah. I think it's more on the advantage side of that. Yeah, I mean, like what Azmi say, doctor say, yeah, it's on the advantage. I mean, for us, it's easier to get to know people now. But then again, we have to know how to do it. Even for me, if I wanted to get to know someone through social media, I won't simply what I call this speak on the wall on the comments. I just maybe go to direct message and all that. Be polite. So these are the things are lacking now. Even now, I mean, what's lacking is compassion. The same thing. Just that now we have to communicate like this. But for some, yes, I know they're taking advantage of start, gossiping, start pinpoint here and there. But these are the things. To me, I always believe that again, go back. But if your interest, your intention is clear, that you get to know someone, hey, why not? And again, it saves us a lot of money as well. To get to halfway, whether you can spend. I mean, in the old days, remember, doctor, you have to go out, bring someone, go here and there, go wine and dine, blah blah blah, and then suddenly the thing doesn't work out. But now sometimes to social media, we can do some testing here and there. We know what to do and all that. But then again, it's not something bad. Okay, it's not something good as well. But you have to know your game. You have to know what you're doing, what you want. You know. So again, take the advantage, the good advantage, but yet not do whatever. Like of course you have to be polite. You have to be yourself. I get to know. Even for me, I get to know someone through social media. When I met her, she's totally different.
Yes.
For some,
Yes.
once we met, then the other day, it gives us a lot of advantages, but yet
Yes.
we have to be careful.
Correct.
And like I said,
Yeah.
again, save a lot of money. A doctor and Arzmy, only in online, right? We spend one and done here and there.
True.
So what you're saying is that you use social media to test the grounds, and then kind of extend
Not,
the
not,
actual deed on in person. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, not touching the ground, but this is the way of life. This is how we communicate now. So
Wow.
we have no choice. Make the best out of it, and
Correct.
then take all the yeah.
So take the best from whatever technology also has to
Yeah,
offer you.
yeah,
Right. So we have a comment. We have a comment to that from Cecilia. So Cecilia says, treat your partner as how you wish to be treated. Communication is the key for a healthy relationship. I completely agree. Don't expect too much from your partner, but make things work together. Expectations kill. Cecilia, you are a wise woman. Yes. I
That's
completely
true.
agree. I completely agree to that. Yeah, as you said, so as women, we completely honor and respect communication. It is a two-way street. Of course, expectations too, because you can over expect and then be let down so badly. So, Cecilia, thank you for staying on and for watching this. I'm going to ask all you three gentlemen on my show here, have men changed? Would you agree? Have they changed for the better or for the worst? Arzmy, go for it.
Have men have changed for the better? Well, I believe not only men. I think both gender have come a long way with the
We are
eras.
talking, we are talking men only here.
Yeah, yeah, I know, but I think we both, as men and women, we have both have changed and come in a long
Yes,
way. So I think
sure.
the mindset and the mentality have changed as well along the line. I mean, I always
Hmm.
like to look at the positive side. I know there's a lot of here and there. Men are still stuck in the patriarchal uh, behavior and characteristics and traits, but I always like to look at the positive side. So I always like to see that men these days are more open about accepting powerful, dominant women. They're not so much open back then, but they are more open now and accepting that we have women engineers, we have
Hmm.
women CEOs, we have women leaders, and these
Sure.
days men start to embrace that, that gender equality. They used to think otherwise, but now they're starting to understand and embrace the fact that women are becoming more and more polished day by day. So
Hmm.
we are not living in a past where women are known to be only the caretakers, the housewives. So men can do anything they want. Women only be wait what told to do, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So we
Hmm.
understand that, and I can safely say that men have changed. I agree in that statement, and I think we have changed for the better. And I would love to see more men to have that kind of mentality in the future. So that's
Wow.
my take on. I believe that
That,
men have changed.
that
Yeah.
sounds completely yeah, that sounds awesome. Dr. Hugh, have men changed for the worse or for the better?
Well, I think in general, men and women, I think society has changed because we have access to so much information.
Hmm.
You can go according to where your path leads you, where your interests lie, right? And in this sense, we are talking about human relationships, right? And
Yes.
how people interact in the social world nowadays. I think it's good because there's so much more information you can find out. You can learn about psychology. You can learn about what women and how people behave and body language, and there's so much at your disposal at the fingertips nowadays. And
Yes.
has it changed for the better? I think it has, because when you realize that there's some complexities, right, and you learn to be happy, you learn to
Hmm.
empathize, have compassion, and
Correct.
it's all out there. Again, there's information, you can even Wikipedia it. uh, and we want a better person. But I would say that it's very complex. It's changed things in a funny way, because it's not as simple as things like in the past, where, you know, again, like what Arzmy said, you know, and Bond said, you know, you wine and dine, and, you know, there's a very fixed roles, a very patriarchal kind of role for, and then, you know, and same with women, right, and their role,
Right.
and it's not acceptable anymore, and it's changed so much that it can also affect relationships, because you know, people feel it's not fair to them. The women might feel it's not fair to them, or the men might feel it's not fair to them, because, you know, everyone is so complex nowadays. It
Correct.
can make life difficult.
Yes. One, you are 62 years old. You know, you've seen a different kind of generation of men. Let me hear your take as well.
By the way, I'm 55 years old.
55. Oh, sorry. My bad. I'm so sorry.
No,
Let's hear your take too.
Okay.
yes, we have changed a lot. You know, yeah. Then advantage and disadvantage. Yeah, when I say change a lot, even through social media, yeah, we get to know people more easily now. You know, there's no rules and right and wrong. I mean, right and wrong. Whether you cannot get to know her, you cannot get to know him, and blah and so on. You know, it's just a fingertip away. Um, um, I don't say it's good. You know, I don't say it's bad. Okay, but you have to know what you're doing. You know, and then sometimes even for social media, even
Okay.
for me, when I want to get to know someone, I'm checking out somebody on social media, and I see her lifestyle in there. Sometimes it scares me away. Sometimes it makes it interesting. You know, so these are the things, because people like to portray their best part of social media, not that they are not so best part. You know, so these are things sometimes we have to be careful. It's a bit dangerous sometimes, but yet you have to go through it. Whether you like it or not, this is the way it is. Yes, we have
Correct.
changed. Then yes, like what Azmi say, we have changed. We hope for the better, especially the young ones.
Yeah.
You get to know more. Like I think
Yes.
in our time, to get to know someone is not easy, especially to get to know someone in the opposite sex. It's not easy. You know, it's not, we are guessing. But now, and in fact now, if you follow us to our friend list, everybody know everybody. And you have
Correct.
to know more, go to their bio. You have to check
Yes.
out their friends, blah, blah, blah. And from there, you get to know bits and pieces of what type of person they are. And from
Okay.
then on, what you're going to do about it, you know?
Yes. Yes. Oh, homework, huh? Background homework and background checks. That's what you're saying.
But I think a fair way of looking at it, right, is whether we want to go back to what we were last time. I don't think any one of us want to go back to the
Yeah.
to the past, where things you know, are not what we have nowadays. So I think it's very dynamic, but very interesting.
Very interesting. Yes. Which also kind of, and that's why I'm saying, I like the conversation that is kind of, that is flowing. So we spoke about, men feeling intimidated and things that way. Then a lot of women are today, of course, like how Arzmy also said, CEOs and, and powerful positions. Do you feel that men feel intimidated by women who are successful, intelligent, and ambitious? So is that part of your when you do a background check, for example? Do you feel intimidated? Ask me.
Okay. Okay, this is another of my favorite question as well, because I did a talk before with Vanita about gender equality. So I don't know whether you remember, there was a trending case a couple of months back by a professor saying that making a statement that a woman need to play dumb in order to validate a man's superiority, because a man will feel insecure. Yeah,
Okay.
a man feel insecure if a woman is smarter than him. Have you come across that? Yeah, that case a couple of months ago. So
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I'm truly against this metaphor or whatever you want to call it, because I think it's really ridiculous in a way. Because me personally, I do not have a problem. I don't feel intimidated, because I mean, I'm more than happy if my woman is more successful than me. What's there to be intimidated about? I mean, it's about, if I want to be at the same par with her, I have to level up my game. I don't have
Right.
to feel inferior. I don't have to feel intimidated. If I want a powerful dominant woman, so it shows that I have to be at the same equal level than her, rather than making her feel that, oh, you know what, you should lower your standards just because I don't feel that I'm validated as a man, which is
Correct.
which is ridiculous. So just don't down. My advice to women: don't downgrade yourself just because your men feel that they're not validated. So you need to stay. So you don't ask a woman to downgrade themselves, and you step up your game. So that is teamwork. Man and woman
Yeah.
is a teamwork. It's
Right.
equal. Actually, the man can't surpass a woman, and woman can't surpass a man. It has to be like 50-50 in order for the same mutual respect. So it's partnership. So they complement each other. So for those men who still have this backdated mindset that a man has to make more, we have to make more financially than a woman, then I think you need to self-reflect on yourself,
Right.
because
Right.
backdated
Correct.
mindset. Well, we're already
Right.
2021. So back to your
To the
question.
21st.
Yeah,
The
back to your
21st.
question. I don't feel that it's necessary for men to feel intimidated when a woman is successful, intelligent. You should be proud of your woman. So
Yes, absolutely. Right.
yeah.
Bon, would you feel intimidated dating a woman who is intelligent, single, and ambitious?
I think no, I'm okay with it. But it's just that sometimes, being Malay, sometimes the perception is always,
Right.
when it comes to Malay, oh, your husband must be somebody, or boyfriend must be somebody, and blah blah blah. Not, you cannot be higher than him, blah blah. But to me, that's past. You know, it's all about
Yes.
now. It's about equality. About like yeah, I agree with me. I'm proud if somebody. I mean, if my other half is somebody, or leading a company, or leading a country, maybe that. But yet, I always remember this: women, whatever, how far they go, how high they are, they want
Hmm.
emotion. This is
Hmm.
what we should
Yeah,
provide.
Hmm.
that's true.
And then men, no matter how they go, they have an ego. So women must temper the ego. That's how we met. It's all about
Yeah,
that. It's not about like and then, I mean, yeah, of course we are proud if our anak is somebody, but yet understanding. But I mean, on the flip side, when it comes to culture, they're a bit different. Even I
Hmm.
think doctor, even the Chinese, yeah, same thing.
yeah,
Or your man must be somebody. You cannot blah 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 blah. So again, I hope from here now people understand. We, I mean, it's not understand to accept things more now rather than
Hmm.
before. Yeah.
Correct. Dr. Hugh, would you feel emasculated if your partner was financially doing better than you?
No, not at all. Actually, even throughout the years, but that's me. That's my personality. I actually admire women who are intelligent, who are successful, who are motivated, who want to have the drive, right? And the thing is, when they go that direction upwards, right?
Hmm.
Then like what you say, we also try and level up. But it doesn't matter because life is a long journey, right? They could be doing well now, but then later on you could be doing better, and then you could flip roles again. So that
Yes.
shouldn't be the basis for a kind of relationship. A healthy relationship should have mutual respect,
Correct.
and both respect each other. And if you see eye to eye in many other ways, right, and you're heading towards a similar direction, then I think
Correct.
that's the formula for a very good relationship.
Okay. And does it also apply, to the dynamics of money and success in a relationship? Because
Yeah,
I've
so
seen,
so
yeah,
this like what Bon has mentioned also, right? You say, okay, maybe Chinese ethnicity, right? So
Hmm.
there was this trend in Singapore, right? A very large proportion, majority Chinese population, and the women are not getting married, right?
Hmm.
And people ask why, and one of the reasons thrown out was that they become so successful, men feel intimidated. So I think
Correct.
this is where this kind of idea comes from. It could be a reason thrown out, but
Right.
I don't think that's the whole story. It could also be that when women get more educated, they
Hmm.
feel a bit more empowered, and they don't
Hmm.
settle for less. And as a
Hmm.
result, they might also be part of the equation that's causing a little bit of problem that way. They don't want weaker men, for example.
Right.
So that's a possibility, but that's how society is working.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That's good to know that we have some sort of we kind of concur on a couple of things here. I love what Arzmy is saying, because Arzmy is the voice of of this particular generation, the 21st generation men, young, dynamic, much more open, much more flexible, looking at women being complete partners. So ask me, tell me, because I'm very intrigued with this question, because I keep hearing people talk about it, and men also sometimes snigger about it. Would you date an older woman?
Yes, I did it before.
Okay.
Experience with my
That is
experience.
good.
Yeah,
That is good. And I'll tell you why I'm
there's no
saying this,
problem.
because
Age,
yes. So I was saying,
age
I'm
is
saying
it's
this.
just a number. It's
That is good to know.
uh,
That is really good
sorry.
to
Come
know.
again.
That is really good to know. I'm saying this because when Nick Jonas married Priyanka Chopra, who's I think 15 years older to him, there was like a big, huge hue and cry, across the globe, where a lot of hate was thrown at the woman. And I thought it was completely ridiculous. The same thing when Prince Harry married very older to him, Meghan Markle. The hate was thrown at the woman. And I thought, which century are we kind of actually living in, where we've put
You're a
ageism, as a criteria for love and happiness? Correct, Asmi?
true.
Okay. All right. So I think we keep losing him here and there. Um, uh, Dr. Hugh, since you are here, and you're the man in the beauty industry, the concept, the concept of beauty and
I'm
men,
lagging again.
the concept of beauty and
I
men,
can't
is it
hear
always?
you. Hold on.
No, I'm talking to Dr. Hugh.
Yep.
Do you think beauty, the concept of beauty, is always a woman's prerogative, or because men are also pursuing beauty, is there like a change in gender dynamics that is happening?
Yeah, I think what you see in newspapers and reports are all true, right? There are more men seeking out for this kind of treatments and products, and they take more
Hmm.
care in grooming themselves. But I think for me, I always see it as it also being part of wanting to look your best, right? Whether it's for
Mhm.
career, whether it's for your partner, for a relationship. So I think it's a good thing. The term metrosexual has also come out, right? Where men are
Yes.
more serious about their looks, their body shape as well, right? They also want to be slim and not look like having that figures, that bods.
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
I think overall it's a good thing, and I think part of the reason is also because there's more availability of services. So like in my industry, and also I think in the beautician kind of industry, they've also focused on men kind of services, that men are looking for, seeking out for, and in fact a lot of the things that women go for, like
Hmm.
spas, relax, right, and
Correct.
de-stress, and treatments for skin to look better can also apply to men. It has always applied to men as well before, just
Yes.
that didn't go into it in a big way. I wouldn't say they have gone into it in a very swinging, big swing kind of way. But definitely we are seeing more men who also want to, look good. Also
Hmm.
maybe to have advantages in searching for a mate,
Yes.
career, and
That's
also
right.
to feel better about themselves.
Correct. So Azmi, you're back. I'm sure you can hear me clearly now. Azmi, can you hear me clearly now, or are we still having a bad network? Um, okay. Bon, what's your take on dating, and how has it changed for men? Bon,
Uh,
what's your take on
come again?
what's your take on
Yes, eh,
dating, and how has it changed for a man?
I think dating now is, I mean, like I said just now, it's more simplified. We get to know people more than before we get to know them.
Hmm.
So again, yes, to social media and all that. I think even now, everybody when they get to know someone, first thing they ask, "What's your Facebook? What's your Instagram?" This a basic common conversation now.
Yes, I
So
know.
from that
Yes.
on, from there you start searching, get to know what's going on, who is the way, what they do, and blah blah blah, and then vice versa. You know,
Right.
and then
Correct.
from then on, get that connected. That's a bit tricky.
Hmm.
Because of sometimes it's not about you and me. It's all about the surrounding. I mean, by doing that, people start checking out, hey, what do you think about him? Or his friends or so and so. And then I got to know him. They got something. He's an act for so and so. So these are things sometimes makes it complicated. Technology is good. Sometimes it makes things complicated and all that. But yet, again, I believe, okay, if you want to get to know someone, sometimes you have to believe in destiny. Like what happened to Arzmy. They met through social media and it worked.
Right.
Even some of my friends. So these are the things you have to know. The intention must be. I always believe that intention must be clear. And then the answer is dating now is more easy, but yet you have to be careful.
Yes. So you're saying clear intention, the willingness to put in effort and work into it, right?
Yes.
Which is I get you. I get what you're saying. Well, what's your take on love? What's your take on love in these times?
Love. Love. To me, love is just a word. I mean, I didn't say love is just a word. I love my car. I love my shoes. I love my drink. I love my, I love my place and all that. But when it comes to relationship, it's all about commitment. It's all about you commit with someone. So these are sometimes a bit tricky. Yeah, I mean, I read a book about this even through my experience. Even now, I read a social media when when we on Facebook when we do something, even Instagram people reply, and people reply they love with the love sign. Sometimes people mistakenly add I love you or you love me. It's not that.
Right.
It's all about I love what you're doing. So these are things. Sometimes the perception, even the communication method must be clear. I mean, even again, I'm saying again. To me, love is just a word. I love you. Whether you're meaningful, it's up to you. But at time when you meet someone that truly want to be with you, it becomes something meaningful. But for now, love is just everywhere. I love what you do. I love your sunglasses now. I love Dr. Hugh background, and these are kind of things.
Oh my God! So what we are also saying is that the concept of love has diluted as well. Is that what we're saying for men?
Yes.
Because it's a misused word.
Okay. For this, not just for men and for women as well, both.
Okay.
Well, I think love partially, right? The concept of love, right? This word love partially is also a bit biological, right? It's something that triggers, right? It's something that maybe when you were a younger person and you were very, your hormones are raging, right? You have that feeling and the connection. You feel you love something. So I think it is still very much there. Just that, people shouldn't just throw these words around. I mean, of course, it is used too much, all this, and like how Bond was saying, is communication, right? But people, they don't even think twice about saying, love here, I love that, and sometimes that causes the confusion for people.
Yes, and that's what I think, and looking around too, that somehow the true essence of love has got abused, overused, diluted, and losing its purity in terms of what it really stands for, the old school of what love is all about and stuff. And I really want Arzmy's take on it, but I think he's really struggling with the internet. We also have been talking about this entire new age concept of ghosting. I don't know if you gentlemen are aware of it. Very normal, very commonly heard term in dating about oh, how I got ghosted, or somebody has got ghosted. Arzmy, I really hope your network is good, because these are questions I need your take as well. Can you hear me, Arzmy? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because we are losing your perspective on this.
Lagging, I think.
Yes.
On the side.
Don't know actually. Arzmy, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Arzmy? All right. Bon, do you have any take on the concept of ghosting? I personally hate the word. I think most women hate the word.
I don't really know the meaning, but I know it's not good. Okay. So it's simple. If you want to have a relationship with someone, you need not to be a ghost. You have to be yourself. So yeah, I know. I mean, I think like people, the generation now know what was ghost is about. But again, to me, again, pure intention. If I want to know someone, I don't want to
Yes,
be a ghost. I want to be as
yes.
human being as me, as this is me, and then to be accepted, or I mean, to be accepted, and all that. It's simple as that. You know,
Hmm, hmm,
all
hmm,
this
hmm.
ghosting thing, you waste of time, you waste your energy, and you create unnecessary problem. And then I think at this moment of time now, we need to stay alive. We need to have peace of mind. I
Yes,
think food and fight.
correct. So what we also agree then that is that there is a certain lack of communication and clarity from men as well. I mean, because
I
ghosting
think
is
to some extent
right
maybe
I,
inevitable. Yeah.
to a certain extent. Dr. Hugh, tell me again.
To an extent that it may be a bit inevitable because nobody goes like ghosting and we communicate and then suddenly you break off, right, and disappear from the other person's view. Yeah, I
Yes.
mean that is, I think, might have to be accepted as part and parcel of what is happening now with how technology is being used, because
Hmm.
apps and all that, right,
Misused,
can make the
misused as well.
conversation.
Yes.
But then they may have just been trying something, right? That is, let's try and connect with this person. But then they find that, after a while they find that, oh no, this not where I want to be. So maybe that is what might have happened. But they should have the courtesy, right, to maybe then say
Right.
something to the other person, and have
Correct.
compassion, because I don't think they want to be ghosted themselves, right? Suddenly, you're chatting very nicely, and suddenly the person just drops off. Yeah,
Right.
so I think it's to do with maybe a bit of courtesy, but quite inevitable, I think, because people are trying it, and you have all young people as well, right? And
Yes. Yes.
they know
Absolutely.
all these social transactions, how to manage it.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. Very
I
interesting.
think
Okay.
yeah, one word: ghosting is insecure. Simple as that.
Is what? Tell me again.
Insecure.
Is
You're
it? Yeah.
insecure.
He's an
Yeah,
insecure man. Correct. He's an insecure man.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, because it is women think it is such a lack of character and such a lack of self responsibility to kind of when we initiate something to either take it to a conclusion or man up as we call it, right? Man up and take the
Mhm.
responsibility of
Yeah,
one's own actions.
yeah.
And I think we kind of see that a lot with younger men also. Azmi, can you hear me? Can you hear me? We are really losing your perspective on this conversation, and it is, it's kind of,
Yes, I can. Yes, I.
yeah. So we were talking about love and dating and
It's a,
ghosting.
just carry-
What is your take on
it's
it?
a,
Yeah, we were talking about love
sorry.
and
Oh, sorry.
dating,
Ghosting.
love, ghosting, and dating. Yes. What is your take on it?
Okay. We talk about ghosting first. Okay.
All right.
To me, ghosting. If you are actually unhappy in a relationship or fall out of love or simply wants to end it, you don't feel the sparks or you don't feel the mutual understanding anymore. I think it would be proper if you just be honest and direct as a gentleman,
Mm,
rather than just vanish or disappear, without
mm,
leaving a trace. Because I know some men may have the difficulty being honest and direct because women might take it wrong and the emotions can handle it. They don't. They are afraid to hurt them in a way.
mm,
But I
mm,
think, as a real man, that's not how it should be. Because you should man up and be direct, and even though maybe they are hurting, but they would have higher respect towards you.
mm, mm.
You
Are,
know,
are, are men afraid of
because you're
conversation?
you're actually manning up to what you, because you're just being honest that you don't feel the same anymore. So instead of ghosting, just
Mm.
be direct and upfront about it. And my take on the, okay, so my motto. Sorry,
Go ahead.
sorry,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry. You're saying?
Go ahead, Azmi. Continue. Please continue.
Okay, my motto when it comes to love, I believe in these three words: uh, respect, appreciation, and effort. You can never go wrong. Yeah, you can never go wrong with these three traits. That is what love to me, because love is being respectful towards each other, and then respect each other boundaries.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, he has really bad network. Anyway, so I think we've already crossed the 60-minute mark, because we had so many questions to kind of address today. So finally, that we have three of you here with a ghosting Arzmy, if that word can be used in this context. Finally, what do men really want? Bon.
What do men really want?
Yes.
Great question, but it's not easy to answer. Okay, I think I think we just want things to be simple. Things to be simple. When our peace of mind. We want you to understand us. Because there always this thing. Oh, men can do everything. Men can handle things. But sometimes ladies, we have feelings too. We have our ups and downs. We need to talk to someone. Sometimes we need to talk. We need someone to listen. To us. And all that. Not
Right.
just like we expect things. Sometimes we might expect us to do magic. Yes, we can, but then again, it's a human being. You have to understand that. And then now with this kind of time now, if you're in business are not really good. Sometimes for me, even I'm a businessman, sometimes I need to spend time on myself to think, and sometimes I just space out, just need to think.
Correct.
So all we need is support. Support means to say sometimes people or just say, Bond, don't worry, things gonna be okay. Simple, it's good enough. Not
Correct.
about some complaining or talk about things. This is what we need. And then even for us, I think Doctor he agreed with me. Yeah, when we have that, our energy will go to the next level. But without that, we become weak. Like I said again, men have feeling too. We
Right.
are our ups and downs. Men cry too, or men weep too on certain things. So we need you guys to understand that. So it's simple as that. And then, but when we have those energy, ladies, we can do anything.
Wow.
That's my thing. Yeah.
Wow. Dr. Hugh, let's hear your take. What do men
Yeah,
really want?
I think that's such a great description, by Bond, right? Yeah, I think keep it sweet and simple, right? Kids, yeah, keep it sweet and simple. um,
Yeah.
I think
I love that too.
we appreciate what women do, and and men can have very complex thoughts, but actually when it comes to relationships, right, they are very simple creatures. We are very simple creatures. Sometimes we feel that on the lady side, right, there's too many rules that have to be observed, and sometimes if we don't observe them, right, and if something is broken, and then there's a big sort of pushback on us. Yeah, there are consequences.
Yes.
So so sometimes that can make it a little bit how to say difficult for us to comprehend sometimes. Yeah, but of course, if we have dealt with women, and know that they are different, from how men react emotionally in other ways, I think it's something that we will come to sort of understand, and also have good respect for.
Yes.
And if you want the relationship to be strong and continue on, then there's always this compromise, and always getting back to the same page
A give
again.
and take. A give and take, right? I think it's a great balance to have.
And then one more thing, if I may add, okay, speak to us. We don't know what's going on in your mind. Tell us. Don't show tantrum. Tell us what's going on. Speak up. Don't show tantrums or something. You keep quiet. You don't communicate. You never WhatsApp or keep quiet and all that. We want to know. 'Cause we cannot speak your mind, ladies. Okay, tell us. Then we can do something about it. Am I right, doctor?
Yes. The unwritten rules, and sometimes I think it may actually be intentional by the women, because they're looking for some kind of attention, and that's the way they feel that they can get it from the men. And I totally understand that.
Understand.
But
But like I said again, in this kind of life now, at this moment, the rate we're going now, those things. I mean, we cannot have those kind of things. We need to
Yes.
be direct, communicate now. at this kind of time now, with the new normal, the new life now, with COVID and all that, so these other things, speak up, and talk about it.
I like the KISS method. I like the keep it straight and simple. I completely agree with that. There's no time for drama now. There's no time for drama.
Yeah.
We also don't like men, who like drama or create drama, that way.
But we will continue seeing drama. We will continue seeing drama. I think it's human nature.
Yes, my God, this was an awesome conversation. To have Bond's perspective, you have to have Dr. Hugh's perspective, Arzmy as up and down, that the network allowed him and disallowed him. But great conversation. We will also post this video all across the place, so that so people can watch. I kind of understand, from you and from your perspective, gives me a glimpse of what men really want, and much more understanding, to be much more equal distribution, I think so, of power and equality between both the genders. I would like to thank Bon for making the time today, for putting yourself, in that very into the hot seat, so to say. I love to, yes, it is hot seat, actually, because of the nature of our conversation. Dr. Hugh, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you on Heart to Heart and have your very frank, and honest opinions on everything. Thank you to our audience who's been, also, I think, on and off on our chat boxes today, on what the entire dynamics today, in terms of relationships between men and women, how they have changed, what the kind of work that is required to be done by both the genders, and to have your perspective, and take on it, on what men really want. I love that. I love the KISS method. I'm going to honestly put it into practice myself too. Let's keep it straight and simple. On that note, Bon, thank you so much. Have a great night. Thank you for all your valuable input today.
Pleasure.
Yes. And I'm going to see you soon offline too. Thank you. Thank you for making the time today. Dr. Hugh, thank you and good night. I'm going to see you soon as well. If Arzmy is still online somewhere, thank you, Arzmy, for making the time and for all that you do for women and for youth development, as an advocate too.
And of course, stay safe, guys. Please stay safe and all that, yeah?
Yeah, yes. Stay safe. Stay safe. Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Thanks, Ethel. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you to everyone who made the time. It was a long Heart to Heart today, had to be. Thank you for making the time. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for joining in with, what your take also was. We always want to know what men want from women. A lot of men also requested for me to have a follow-up show which on what women want, which will also be happening on Heart to Heart. Be safe, be strong, keep love truly in your heart, be aware as individuals. Let's have more love and less war between us genders too. Thank you for joining in, and have a great night, and stay beautiful. Good night.